Our special guest today lets her light shine bright and brings joy and warmth to all those around her. She is full of positivity and inspiration. With a heart as big as her smile, she leaves a trail of sparkle wherever she goes, brightening the lives of those lucky enough to cross her path. Her unwavering belief that different is beautiful is not only empowering, but also a reminder to us all to embrace our uniqueness. What truly sets her apart is her dedication to living her dreams and her authenticity, serving as a source of light to others, and we should all follow. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be inspired as Sierra shares her incredible journey with us. She has 2 journeys, actually, that she's sharing. Let's give a warm welcome and a virtual round of applause for the incomparable Sierra Scott.
Yay!
Thank you
Welcome.
so much.
Yeah.
It makes me want to cry.
Does it? It's been
So
such a
sweet.
long journey for you.
Oh my God.
And actually, I didn't really know until you started sharing on Instagram is where I mainly follow you. Sierra Sparkle. Is there numbers?
Sierra Sparkles 88.
Yes.
The year I was born.
And there's actually a couple of Sierra Scotts when I was like
Oh,
searching
no.
the name. And I was like, but there's only one Sierra Sparkle. And it makes sense because you do. Like if that could be a quote for any one person that I know, it would definitely
me.
be you. Yes.
You're like, it fits perfectly,
Yes,
so it all
yes.
works.
So let's
My
talk
license
about
plate.
how you met us. How did we meet?
So one of my best friends, or couple, Audrina and Eddie, they bought a home from you guys, 2-3 years ago now?
Mm-hmm.
And we had a few realtors and just, they were great, but it just wasn't working out for us. And they said, well, you call Graceland and Frankie. And I'm like, I don't know. I was kind of over the whole process to begin with. But we reached out to you and met you, and you could just kind of instilled some knowledge in us about the real estate market. And literally, we didn't even buy a house from you until like 1.5 years, 2 years later.
I think that's true.
Yeah, no, it's true. So thank you.
You guys would
so
pop
much.
in. You guys would pop in and pop out and pop in and pop out.
Yes, I would like text you every now and then. Hey, I saw this house.
yeah.
Like, should we look at it? What do you think about it? Because it
Yeah.
really, we were at the point where we just were not having fun with the house buying process anymore. So we just stopped.
Yeah.
So you really stuck with us.
What is that?
I don't know.
Oh,
All good. We are all good.
He's gonna get it for you. So yeah, I remember you would send like if you saw houses that were cute. And that was so funny too because you were mainly interested in houses that had like a lot of character because you are a lot of character.
Because I'm a lot of character myself. Yeah, so I was anti-new build.
Yeah.
And now we're in a new build, surprisingly.
Uh-huh.
But we like the houses in like the Tower, Fresno City area, Fresno High. Like we just like houses with a lot of character and awnings and big backyards and just not everything so cookie cutter. So when we were looking, I was like, if there was a new build, I just would never even look at it. Like even if someone sent it to me, nope, I don't like it. Like
So what happened? What changed?
One time you had messaged me and you said, hey, just check this out. Like the builders are offering really good incentives. And I remember I said, no, I don't like it
Yeah.
because it was a new build. And you're like, just look at it, please. Like we can even go look at it soon. And so the price was pretty good. It was around what we were wanting to spend. And so I just told my husband, you know what, let's just go look at it. No one says we have to buy it. So we went
And that was a completely different builder.
Yes, I would say we
than
went
what
looked
you
at a
ended up.
smaller one from a different builder, and then we ended up in this one. So.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think I remember. So there was like a big chunk of people, August of 2023, I want to say, that were first meeting with me, going over payments, and that 8% interest rate and 9% that people were quoting was just so hard for people to swallow. And it
Yeah.
was like, I just can't do that. I won't do that.
No.
And then end of 2023, like November, December, the rates dropped to like the 5s.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
where we
when I
were
was
at.
like, whoa, like we're finally at a place where all these people wanted to be. And I think that 7 of my people that were looking in midsummer ended up going into contract in November. And I think that's what inspired me to reach out to anybody and everybody who had like, who wanted this payment that seemed so far out of reach. And then you didn't, it was ended up being location for that specific one.
For that specific one, because I now work in Madera. My husband's always worked in Madera. And at first we were like, we don't know, but it was far enough out so we were closer to work, but it wasn't too far. We're 10 minutes from River Park, so it ended up being a good location for us.
And then, just the one builder that you happened to find had one last remaining house. And you got a screaming deal on it.
I did.
Very
I won't
nice.
say how much because I don't want people to be jealous, but let's just say I got a good deal.
Yes. So much of a good deal that come closing day, we were so excited. You started the trend. You started it. I was like, you were like, hey, can you put together a parade for me? Maybe, a
bow.
band. Yeah.
This needs to be an event. Like, it just can't be a regular day. I'm
No.
getting keys. I
And
need
I
it
was
to
trying
be
to
big.
be so creative. And
She
so
was.
I was like, okay, so I've got, the poppers, I've got champagne,
No,
I've
it
got
was so
toasting
cute.
glasses, I got the bow. And I almost did rally together my kids.
Oh my God.
Like, we
With
have
signs.
to do, yeah.
You finally did it a year and a half later.
Yeah. So we were so excited, and you closed, and that whole closing ceremony video thing,
Yes.
I have done every single client except for one since then.
I loved it. Literally, I just watched it the other day, and I'll be crying when I'm watching it because I'm like, this never
was
was like a
perfect.
reality for us, myself or Emilio, my husband. So just to see that, I'm like, oh my God, we did it.
And then ever since we posted that, now everyone's doing the champagne and the
They want
poppers.
something, yes, because you have to be
It's
extra.
fun,
You
too,
have to
yeah.
sparkle.
Yeah.
And then it's so amazing to see. I remember you guys didn't really know how to do the popping. You guys never drink, so I was like, keep
Well,
going.
I never drink.
Oh,
Emilio just
Amelia
drinks
does?
beer.
Yeah. Not the champagne. The beer.
So the cork. So now we always are trying to coach people on how to do the champagne popping
Ahead of time.
Yeah, appropriately. And sometimes it itself explodes.
No, we were having the hardest time, and you can even see in the video, I'm like making this awful face trying to figure
You
out
were
what's going on.
scared. I think you were scared it was
I
going
want
to
to
come
pop
fly-
my eye out.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't afford the mortgage and a new eye.
and we're always, like you said, now that we're doing it, we have a good group of buddies of ours who just closed, and he was like the best at just spraying champagne.
Yes.
And we were impressed. I was like, oh my goodness,
He
like
made
that,
it spray forever in the air. I'm like,
it
he's
was-
experienced.
I might need
Yeah,
to
I was like,
redo.
he's
Hold
done.
on.
Experience.
Yeah.
I think we'll have to get all of our clients and have a contest.
Yes.
competition out front.
Yes,
right?
I'm gonna practice.
Who can pop bottles?
And then my other friend, she did it, and she almost sprayed her little baby. She didn't know. It went, and she's like, ah! And then she's like, oh my gosh! And she put it down because it's going straight at him. So it was so much fun. Then how many days after would you say that you contacted me again after your closing?
Oh my gosh. So it wasn't a good contact either. So literally 2 months to the day, we got keys January 12th. And March 12th, so the same day we paid our mortgage, my husband was laid off from his job. So I called Graceland in tears, I'm gonna have to sell the house. I really couldn't see past that because we came from an apartment where the rent was lower, significantly lower than a mortgage. And so I was just like, okay, we need to know what we need to do if we have to get out of this house. And we had only been there for 2 months. So literally 2 months to the day.
And it's definitely one of those things that happen, those situations where, it's gut wrenching. You're like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? What's the plan? And the crazy thing is it's more common than people think. I mean, in any industry, people get laid off, businesses close, and, and you hear those stories, and sometimes people are like, it's never going to happen to me. But then when you're put in that instance, you're right. You have so many questions and concerns that are going through your head.
Yeah.
And I know when you called Graceland, even her mindset, and when I was talking to her, it's like, well, we need to slow this down. Let's just have some dialogue.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation. Let's figure out where we're at. But it's definitely, I can imagine, just a scary situation for sure.
Literally, I called my best friend, the one that you had originally bought the house. She originally bought the house from you, and I'm just sobbing. And she's like, "What's wrong? Who died?" And I'm like, "Emilio lost his job. We're gonna lose a house."
Oh, no.
I was trying to get it out then. That way, by the time he got home, I could maybe be less of a mess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was a horrible feeling. Horrible.
And you bring up one good point that I think a lot of people don't know is you got your keys in January, and your first mortgage payment usually skips a month.
Yes, so
So
we
it
didn't
was
pay until
in March. Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you close in February, it would have been April. And if that would have happened, you probably would have had time to maybe cancel, right? Or if your escrow had extended, or if it closed earlier than you would have had a mortgage payment, then it would have hurt a little bit more. Cause so I think like everything happened for the right reason.
It worked out. Like I said, I was sharing with you earlier, 3 months ago we didn't know if we were going to keep the house, and now we're getting quotes on the backyard. So how quickly life changes.
And it's funny that you bring that up, right? Because I know a lot of time people go into new construction, their mindset is like, I don't need a real estate agent, because it's new construction, they have everything dialed in, like I don't need inspections and stuff like that. And we tell our clients all the time, it's just someone to be there as your advocate and like a sounding board, and listen and take notes, and find little things that maybe you missed in a conversation. But I think the cool thing about even your guys' situation is because Grayson was able to find a really good deal on a property for you guys.
Yeah.
And even when you guys were considering selling the property, you had got it at a good enough price, and there was homes that were appraising at a much higher price that you were going to be able to sell it and get out of it if you absolutely wanted to, like without leaving any money into it. So it was definitely you guys were in a good situation, even though it was a bad situation altogether.
We were. So we did move into the house with equity already. So if we would have had to sell it exactly what it appraised for, we kind of would have come out even, basically, maybe with, a little bit. But at least it would have been enough for us to get into an apartment if that's what we were going to have to do. Thankfully, that didn't happen.
Yes. You actually had told me a story about somebody that who like they got a new construction home, and then I think their appraisal came in low.
Yes.
And you had the opposite happen, where yours appraised high.
Yes.
And so luckily enough, you had enough cushion in there to pay for commissions if you needed to sell, and walk away with a little bit of proceeds.
Yeah.
So what made you change your mind in like, all right, I'm going to buckle down and I'm just going to stay married to the house?
Hold on.
Right. I was going to say no more Starbucks. I think with my husband's job, or with the skill that he has, like we knew he was going to find a job quick. It wasn't going to be long that he was out of work. It was just kind of like, what's the pay going to be? And so he did get a severance when he left his job. And then unfortunately, he did have retirement as well. So we ended up taking the severance and pulling his retirement, and then paying off a large chunk of bills. That way it really loosened up kind of the debt that we had. And that way we knew we could then afford the mortgage.
Oh my gosh. I am just imagining Emilio's mind, because he, out of all of my years,
his spreadsheet.
He has like a famous spreadsheet that I tell everybody about, that it was like color
coded.
Yes, color coded. I feel like it was like alphabetized and like numerical. Yeah, thank you. And so it's just like I always tell people like, and he would always show people and they would get scared, because they're like, this is all your debt, and he's like, oh no, this color means it's paid off. This color, this. So I could just imagine him like, hey, if we do X, Y, and Z, it's technically the same amount of money going out as if
exactly.
That makes sense.
I mean, it definitely helped. I mean, without that severance and without the retirement, we might have had to sell, because we just, we had spent money obviously getting into the house and me decorating the house, and you know what I mean? We didn't have a ton of extra at that time to where we were like, okay, we'll be fine for 3 months. We're middle class. So.
And then you just shared with me that your neighbor sold for even higher.
Yes.
Like $20,000 higher than your house appraised.
Yes.
So now you've got a big, I was just telling somebody, I was like, I was like, I hope they keep it, because you've got a good nest egg in there now.
You do.
And the longer you hold it, and there's still communities. Did you see Lennar's going to build like right across?
They're building. They're still building so much, and they have plans for like another lodge and an Olympic pool and all kinds of stuff. So I can only imagine how much equity we'll have.
Yeah, and it's kind of looking and putting it into perspective, right? Because your point, like, okay, we had to pull some retirement, we had this pension, we had to pay off some other debts, but we decided to do that to stay in the home. And a lot of people don't realize, and I try to explain to people, like, there's truly never a bad time to buy real estate. Under the the right situation and circumstances, and it truly is like a savings account. It really is. If you take care of it properly, if you invest into it, you decorate it, you take care of the home, you do all the maintenance, and as more homes, especially in new construction, because as more homes build around you and it becomes a mature neighborhood, it's just going to appreciate in value. So you may have had to sacrifice some of that retirement, you may have had to use all that pension, initially, and that severance package to get out of it. But in reality, now you have this equity in this home, and then you see homes selling around you, and you guys are continuing to invest in the property. So if you did decide to sell, 10, 15 years down the road, the amount of equity, or 5, right? Yeah. All
Or
the equity
even
that you have in there.
rent it,
Yeah.
because there is like another couple that they wanted to sell and they would have had $150,000 equity
Oh my gosh.
to put down on their next
I
house.
wouldn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah. But doing that $150,000 down was only going to change their payment by like $800 or $900. And so I was like, what if you just keep your house, and then they were going to make only $400 a month, but 400 times that year,
Yeah, it
times
evens out.
however many years. And I was like, and then you pay off your debt, this debt and that debt, and then you're saving $1,500 instead of just $800 or $900. And so they were like, oh, we really didn't want to be landlords, but that makes
and we felt
more
the
sense.
same way when that was an option.
Yeah.
We're like, we don't want to do that, but it's hard to think about it when you're like in the moment, because you're just thinking short term. Like, I have to have a place to live, I have to be able to pay my car payment. But looking back, I'm glad we made the decision to keep it, and that we had the resources in order to be able to keep it. Because yes, now I do look at it like every time one of my neighbors' house sells, I'm like on there tracking the sales with them too, because I'm like, please sell for more.
Yeah.
The house that just sold for $20,000. Higher, same exact floor plan as ours, same exact house color, flooring, everything.
And
So
you
I'm
can make
like,
yours
yes.
so much cuter.
Yeah, our
You were-
backyard's bigger.
yeah. And you don't have backyard neighbors.
No,
Yeah,
we don't.
yeah.
We face Avenue 12, which people are like, isn't that super noisy? And I'm like, when people go by on like their motorcycles super late, and it's like the super loud ones, yeah, it can be, but honestly, it's not that bad. We don't have kids. It doesn't bother us.
Yeah.
And I wanted to backtrack just a little bit, because I also think it's important, even for us as real estate agents, because we try to explain to people. A lot of times people think like, I need to go find a real estate agent when I'm like ready, willing, and able to buy right now. And we try and tell clients all the time, like, hey, sometimes it's 2 days, sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes it's 10 years that we're looking for a property before we find the right one for you. But don't hesitate to connect with someone, share your vision, share your dreams, because we may find something out there in a time that you're not ready, but it checks all the boxes and it's something you didn't think about. Or in your instance, it may be 12 to 18 months down the road, but when you have that advocate there and you have someone to bounce ideas off of, it's all in your time, and you don't have to wait to find a real estate agent when you like, oh, I'm going to buy now, I got to go find someone. Like, no, have that conversation, share that vision, partner with someone who, is experienced in the industry, and really just let them kind of be an advocate and keep an eye on what things are doing out there for you.
Someone you can check in with every
Yeah.
6 months or every 6
Yeah.
days. I felt like I was constantly sending her Zillow listings. What about this? What do you think?
And the other thing too is like, we do tons of videos of if you're looking for a home, call us, and nobody ever calls us. And I'm like, I feel like they think that they're going to be like tied to me. I just want to give you information.
Yeah, it's not like a car sale.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not. They're not chasing you
Yes.
off the lot
And
or into their office.
Yeah.
I was telling him, I was like, okay, do one of me now saying like, I've asked you to call me, you haven't called me.
Yeah.
And this is just a discovery appointment where you're learning more about the buying process and I'm learning more about you. And if we happen to mesh well, great. If not, no strings attached.
Swipe left or right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, and even people come and be like, oh, I'm still interviewing, real estate agents. Fantastic. Like, I just want to have a conversation, figure out what you're looking for, see if there's a way that we can assist. But yeah, there's never any pressure. And I tell people all the time, Grace is like, it doesn't sound like the best one. Like, you can fire us anytime. Like, honestly, like, there's no harm, no foul. Like, if it's not working for you, if we're not a good fit, like, I don't take it personal, because you want to find that right personality, that right advocate for you. And, every agent's not right for every single client, but that's why you have conversations, and that's why you talk about what you're looking for.
And I cannot wait to see what your house is going to look like after you like get it dialed in.
I'm so excited.
Because your style, like, you guys can't see her right now. You can go to our YouTube channel and you can see this podcast episode. She is the cutest. She's got the whole package. That was going to be part of her introduction, was going to be like, she's known to have the whole package. She's got it all. Frankie
Fan
gets,
blowing.
yeah. Frankie gets jealous. But no, she's got like even your fur babies,
Oh, my
the
babies.
cutest.
Yes,
You
they're
love
so
them.
spoiled.
That's what I mean. Your heart is as big as your smile, because your smile just like beams through a room. It was such an honor to help you through the buying process. I'm glad it all worked out. I was
Yes.
so nervous for you guys. I was like, come on into the office.
I know.
You guys need a
We were eating
beer.
pizza and beer.
Pizza, beer. I want to be here for you. And we would have done whatever it takes. That's the kind of attitude that we have,
Yeah.
is like, to make things right, we're going to do whatever it takes.
And I know you really would have. You're like, you can rent, you can sell, you can rent out rooms. Like, you were just trying to think of any
Here's
option
all
we
the
could.
different-
Every single option that you have available to you.
Yes.
Yeah, let's find the right avenue and let's go that
She
way.
even recommended OnlyFans.
Well,
Just kidding.
I just learned about this site. I didn't know about it until my friend just recently told me. I forget what it was, but do you remember who told me about it?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Well,
too.
and the
Let's
funny
not bring
thing,
that up.
the funny thing is, I thought you had already known because I forget we were having like a conversation or whatever, and you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna start selling pictures of my feet," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, she's looking at OnlyFans, or whatever," and she's like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, and she's like, "I know what it is now. I had a conversation." I'm like, "Oh my
I
goodness,
love
yeah."
it. He's all red.
Israel's like,
Wow.
what? He's thinking of all these titles. He makes up all these crazy titles. He's gonna go like feet pictures.
Yeah.
Thought about starting an OnlyFans, yeah.
Oh
Lose your
my
job,
God,
OnlyFans
no.
is an option.
So that was a fun home journey.
Yes.
Long one.
Yes, and my husband now has a job. We're good to go. He's in a great place. He's happy. Got a great position. So, and he said, yeah, now we're trying to spend money on our backyard.
And you have a new journey now, a personal journey.
Yes, I
But that
do.
one sounds like it also has been like pretty lengthy journey.
It has.
So how many years would you say? Or a year?
Yeah, I would say the last year. I mean, I've kind of always struggled with my weight and weight loss and hormones and all that fun stuff that we get to deal with. And so, yeah, the last year I just started on Ozempic, and I've lost 80 pounds. And I've been working out in addition to that,
Watch out.
eating low carb. So yes, I did, ask for help, got some medication to help with it. And some people are for it, some people are against it. That's fine. I just like to be able to share my journey and be open about it. Because I had weight loss surgery 10 years ago as well, and then still had issues with my weight.
Oh, 10 years ago. So it's actually been like a 10-year journey.
Yeah, it's been a 10-year journey. Yeah, I was good for a few years, started kind of putting weight back on again, was pre-diabetic again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then
So did you get the surgery initially because you were pre-diabetic?
yes.
And then they were like, is this the time when they do insulin, like when you're pre-diabetic, or
No,
is
you
it?
don't do insulin,
It's
or
like
at least
you're
I didn't.
going to do.
Yeah,
you're gonna do it.
They try
if
and
you-
like get you to change your diet, and
your
exercise a little bit more.
lifestyle
Before it becomes a major issue. Yeah.
So I did, and I lost weight. I lost 65 pounds at that time, but about year 2.5, I just started putting weight back on again.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because my friends would still, like, it was an ongoing joke and still is, like, you don't even eat that much because, they removed 80% of my stomach. I
Oh my
physically
gosh.
cannot
Yeah.
eat that much. I
Yeah.
eat less than a child, but it's just, I was still gaining weight. It had to do with some hormonal things as well. So I finally, told my doctor, hey, I've been researching the GLP-1s, the semaglutide, and this was before they got super popular. And so I was able to get it pretty quick, and I've been on it the last year now, and now I'm still on it in maintenance dosing. But I've lost 80 pounds, and I
Wow.
have a trainer now, and
Mhm, I saw that.
I know.
And in your community, they have the gym.
They do.
Is that the gym that you go to?
Yes, but I'm going to say no because we can't have trainers there. So if anyone in Riverstone sees this,
Just you and your friend go.
Yeah,
my
you
friend
and your
work
friends
out.
work out. Yeah, your neighbors, you work out.
Yes, she's my cousin.
But I love the fact that, like you said, when you share and being aware of the situation, like, hey, this is what's worked for me. I get it; it doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that you're talking about, your workout regimen as well, because I think one of the biggest issues or pushback that I've seen with people on semaglutide is like, oh, they think they're just going to take this and you're going to lose weight and everything's all as well.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are saying like, no, it's really important that you exercise, that you watch your diet. You're like, yeah, it could probably help, but you still want to live a healthier lifestyle. Like if your goal is to, long term stay fit, and the fact that you're kind of checking all the boxes and you're on this journey and you're loving the results, that's awesome.
Yes, and I loved all her little muscle pictures.
I know.
And she did, she has like a full, kind of like a more in-depth picture of what the last
The last 10
10 years
been
have looked like.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned PCOS, and my daughter has PCOS, and we both have hypothyroid disorder.
Oh, gosh.
And so, when my doctor wanted to like take me off, he was like, you're over medicated, we should just probably like take you off for 30 days just to like recalculate where you should be.
That's
I
like-
gained 15 pounds
Yeah.
in 30 days.
I was going to say it's like horrifying now to think. Like
Yeah.
I had a doctor recently My doctor retired, so I got a new doctor. He wanted to take me off of it, and I was like arguing back and forth with him. I said, no, I don't think you understand. I mean, clearly I'm not a doctor. I said, but I've done my own research and looked at studies and kind of followed people's progress, and you can't just stop this cold turkey. You need to maintenance dose and you need to titrate off of it.
Yeah.
So thankfully I ended up getting sick with the flu recently, and I was able to get a telehealth appointment, and I got another doctor, and he was like, oh, I see you're on Ozempic. I said, well, actually my doctor just took me off of it. And he said, well, why? I see you're doing so great. And I said, well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not, we're not on the same page about it. So this doctor agreed to keep me on it and just do the maintenance dosing. So I was so happy. It was kind of like a fluke thing. I ended up getting sick, got a telehealth appointment, actually just met with that doctor yesterday. And yeah, so I'll probably be on it for another 6 to 12 months.
Nice.
And I'm super excited because then I feel like my work in the gym, I know I'm going to get results.
Yes.
It's not going to be like
you
before.
already are.
Yeah.
Yes, the back of your shoulders.
It's not going to be like before where I killed myself and I still wasn't losing any weight.
Yes.
I am getting results right now.
And ride that wave for as long as you can. Because I was really into fitness and like working out probably like 2013 to 2016. And I got massive results. But once you lose it, it's really hard to get back on that train. Once you like let yourself like, I'm
okay.
Yeah, and I think that's, something for a lot of people, right? Like, I think my New Year's resolution every year is like to get in the best shape of my life. And I have no problem exercising, and I truly enjoy exercising, but I also love tacos. I love pizza. I love to eat. Like, that's the problem. Like, I love good food, and I can go and burn, 1,000, 1,200 calories, and then I can go do that in one meal when I drive by like a burger stand and be like, ooh, I want that smash burger over there. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I know. So good.
So yeah, he's good at working out, but I'm kind of like you, whereas like I may have had like the discipline to do it before consistently, because it did start out with like just 25 minutes, then 25 minutes, and then 25 minutes plus a gym workout, and then all of a sudden I was working out 7 days a week for 3 hours every morning.
Oh my gosh.
Getting up at 3 a.m. and staying in the gym until 6 a.m.
Wow.
And
I don't know if I'll ever be there, but
yeah, it was kind of it was an outlet for sure.
Yeah.
It was an outlet, and it was healthy, and then I was also committed to like being consistent with meal prepping and everything. But once I stopped, now I'm like, but I'm more tired because now my diet's not in place. And so now the food is making me like more exhausted.
Groggy,
I have 5 kids, so I'm just like, I would rather sleep when I can
then work out
instead of work out. So for me, it's like the same struggle. So we got an accountability partner. I have Israel coming over every morning, and we're on week 3 now.
Ooh.
But seeing your little muscle pictures, I'm like, I am so proud of her. That
she's putting them through it. She's got like her whole little crew. She's got Israel, and then she's got Nevaeh, and they're in there, and then they're doing a Shanti workout, and then the audio wasn't working the other day, and I was laughing hysterically. So I'm in my room. I'm in my room asleep, and I'm like, all right, it's time to get up and get coffee because I wake up a little bit later, and then I hear, Shanti, like how he does, and he irritates me. I've done the workout so many times, but I hate like the way that he talks on those things. And I hear it, but then I'm getting closer to the living room. I'm like, wait, that's not, who's talking like Shanti in my living room? And I go in, and Grace is doing this workout, and she's totally like, she's got it like on subtitle, and she's like reading the subtitles, and she's like doing it. I'm like, oh my God, this is not happening right now. Are you kidding me?
I talked the whole entire workout, and I didn't realize like how exhausting it is to talk through the whole workout.
My goodness.
To like try and do the moves and to say it with the energy that you say it.
Sometimes my trainer's like trying to get me to do something and I can't do it, and she's like, okay, let's try something else. Because I just cannot do it.
That's so good. Yeah, Israel was like, oh my God, is she really going to just do this whole entire thing?
Yes.
Yelling
yes,
like,
she is.
Yeah, and I did.
Oh, she totally did.
I was like, get down nice and good. And we have 4, 3, 2.
Form.
Yep. It's the only time I'm going to talk about your upper body. Keep your body. Your body is a board. Stuff like that. 25 minutes a day. Do you know the results you can get?
A day, though?
every single day.
day?
Well, it's only Monday through Friday, and Friday is a double day. So,
God.
but it's almost like it kicks off your weekend like pretty good. Like when you have to do 2 25 minutes, and it's like it's high.
It's high intensity.
Yeah, it's HIIT training for sure. It's
So then it's like, okay, you do that back to back, and then you're like, all right, I got it out of the way. And that's what I told Israel. It's like, I cannot do afternoon or evening workouts. I've always been a just knockout in the morning, because for me, like the more you dread it and you're telling yourself throughout the day, the harder it is.
Oh, that's me. So I work out in the evening after work, and literally every day I wake up and I'm like, I have to work out today. I'm telling you, 3 months later, I still don't enjoy it, honestly. The only reason I enjoy it is because my trainer, Lisa, and my friend, she just has me laughing the entire time because I'm not coordinated whatsoever. So like I just look crazy all the time whatever I'm doing, and she's like trying to help me with my form and trying to mix things around so I know how to do them. So I'm literally just like cracking up the entire time, and she's like laughing at the horrible faces I make. But if it wasn't for her, like I worked out one time about 2 weeks ago without her, and I told him, Leo, I said, I'm not working out with her ever again, or like working out without her ever
without
again.
her
yeah. And I was just like, oh my God, like it sucks working out by yourself. I need someone to tell me what to do and to like fix me if I'm doing it the wrong way.
I truly think that's the biggest reason that most people like lose motivation or stop working out, is you don't have an accountability partner or a workout partner. Like I was super dedicated to the gym for like almost a full year last year and the year before. But yeah, just being self-motivated and not having someone that you're consistently working out with, like it's so easy when you take a day off and it's like, oh, I'll take 2 days off, or you know what, I'm still kind of sore, like I'm not going to go today. And before you know, before you know it, it's a week, it's 2 weeks, like it's tough.
That happens.
And then you feel like you can eat bad after that. You're like, oh well, just eat this hamburger and fries.
If you're an all or nothing person, I'm 100% all or nothing. So like I couldn't, when I was going to the gym, I was like, I just don't understand going to the gym to not get results. So I'm always going to like push myself a little bit harder than the day before. Or even like I did a running thing, like where I got into running for a little bit, and so I would try and do the mile like faster every single day. So it was just like, even if it was, a second faster, I just wanted to do it faster every single day. And why? I don't know why. Like doing a mile wasn't enough. It was like every day I had to do it faster, or it's like nothing, like all or nothing, you know. So
and then it's everything, and it's like, oh, if I want some cheesecake, why am I going to have one cheesecake? I'll have 2 pieces of cheesecake. And why just 2 pieces of cheesecake? Why don't I put some strawberry topping on them? Or you know what? Why don't I put some berries on these too? This will be great.
That's me. I'm like an addict. I'm like, don't give it to me, because once you give me one hit, I'm going to do more. Like, so I just can't do it at all. You know what I mean?
Unless you do it. Like, if you're going to do it, just do it.
Right. I'm going to relapse. Like, and my relapse is hamburgers and cheesecake as well.
Hamburger and cheesecake.
Oh, it's so bad.
So, what about Emilio? Is he going to start working out?
So he has started working out.
Ooh.
He is not necessarily for like the medications and stuff. He's one of those like I can do it on my own because I've done it on my own.
Oh, that's
before.
Me. Yep.
And I wish he would just try, because there's things to help with it, and I feel like it's great in the beginning when you do get medical assistance. You can see the results, and so it's like you're not in a slump like, gosh, I'm miserable, I've been kicking my butt in the gym and I've lost 1 pound, or I've gained 2 pounds, you know what I mean? But he's been working out now, and he's got some ankle issues. He's got to get those under control. So he has Kaiser now, thank God. He'll go to the doctor on this Friday. But yeah, he's definitely been more supportive of my journey and like eating better. I don't cook. So he does all the meal prepping on Sundays.
Awesome.
So literally Sundays is just a big old day of barbecuing and cooking. So we have chicken and meat and veggies and stuff for the week. So it's been nice to have that support. He was always supportive of my journey, but it's supportive that now he's in the journey as well. And it makes it a lot easier.
Well, it's probably a motivation seeing what you've done too. So there's a certain point where it's like, okay,
what am I gonna do?
I'm ready to get up and get rolling too.
Oh,
hey, high motivation there. There you go, right?
No, I love you too much. But.
You guys are so cute. When the time is right, we'll have to have him come back on. And
he's gonna
say
steal my thunder.
You'll have to bring a spreadsheet. We'll have to put it on the video so everyone can see if they want one.
We'll have to talk about the spreadsheet.
The other day, I literally was logging into my Kohl's account, and I thought we still owed money on it. And so I was like, okay. And then I said, it says I have a 0 balance on my Kohl's card. He was like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God. So now I feel like I can go on a shopping spree, which
You're
I'm not allowed to do.
You're just like this.
I know, I'm like, oh my God, it's zero balance.
Especially with how much weight you've lost.
I know, I do need clothes.
And you've been thrifting, so
I
you've
thrift
been so good.
everything.
You've
I
been
thrift
so
every-
good.
This is thrifted. This is
Very
thrifted.
cute.
Watch out.
Yeah, I thrift everything. I'm like, and now I go into Target and I'm like, oh my God, that pair of pants is so cute. And I'm like, $40.
Yeah.
You know how many pair of pants I can buy at the thrift store for $40?
I'm gonna have to show Grayson the way. She tries to be sneaky, and she'll walk out and be like, "Where did you get that outfit? Where did that come from?" She'll be like, "Oh, I've had this in the closet forever." I'm like,
it could be
Sometimes it is
I've
true.
seen the tags on it
Yes.
still.
Like I have a shirt that I thought was so cute. I had saved all my Target gift cards, and so technically I bought it for free.
It was free.
Yeah.
Girl math. It was
And
free.
I haven't worn it. Not
you
one
bought
time.
it like a year ago, huh?
Yes.
Yep, that's
So-
me.
but so cute, and I will wear it.
you are. You're
I
gonna
think
wear
he
it.
just doesn't take me places that I get to wear
Ah,
it.
there we go.
Better take her out.
I know, right? There we go.
So if people want to learn more about your journey
Yes.
or reach out to you for inspiration,
I would
where is
love
the
that.
best way to reach you?
So I am big on Instagram at Sierra Sparkles 88, and then on Facebook I go by my married name, so Sierra Scott Inocencio. You're not going to be able to spell it, but you'll find it.
I think, can't they just find you? Like if they go to Instagram, it will
think-
link your Facebook.
I think it
I
might.
think so. They could probably type in Sierra Scott because it's easier. Sierra with an S, like the mountains. And they can follow me, message me. One thing that I think is keeping me kind of motivated on this journey is really the people reaching out to me and saying that it's helped them. I was in the store earlier and I was in tears because some girl had messaged me. Her and her husband are now starting GLP-1, so like the Ozempic, the Wegovy, the semaglutide, and she was like, I never even thought to ask the doctor about that until I saw you post about it.
Oh my
and I saw your
gosh.
journey and your results. And I literally was in tears. Like I was so emotional.
Somebody else that I was talking to actually knew you.
Oh my God.
Oh my, yeah. So I had taken a past client of mine up to the mountains for a girl retreat, and it looked like she was like having, just needed some mom time alone. And I was like, she had mentioned it that she was going to start it, or it did start it.
I
She
think
did
so.
start
Yeah,
it.
I think she did
And
start.
so I was like, oh yeah, I know all about that because and I showed her, and she's like, oh yeah, I know her.
Oh,
so she
I
actually knows you, I think, through work. I'll tell you who
Okay, yeah.
after.
Tell me after.
But is there any side effects or anything that you would say like this is what you should be aware of?
I know there are side effects, and mind you, Ozempic doesn't pay me, semaglutide doesn't pay me, but they sure can. Hey, I know that there are side effects like nausea, diarrhea. I think like dry mouth. So there are side effects. I've been super fortunate, which is surprising because I'm so sensitive to everything. Like I'm allergic to mosquitoes, but I didn't have any side effects, which has been nice. But I feel like the most common that I've heard of, because I do have friends that are on it as well, is kind of like the nausea, diarrhea, upset stomach. Sometimes they can push through it and they can stay on it. Sometimes they can't. So I've kind of seen both sides of things. I haven't seen anything super extreme from the people that I know, at least.
Do you think it might be a combination of like they're on Ozempic and then like eating stuff that might be making them sick, or eating the wrong types of foods? Or do you think like some people just don't have a good reaction?
I think it's both. I think sometimes people just don't have a good reaction to it. Their stomachs aren't able to tolerate it. Maybe their body isn't. Maybe they don't. I feel like because sometimes even people take it when they don't necessarily need to, like they're quote unquote skinny. They BMI is fine. They're not pre-diabetic. Those people I've heard not being able to tolerate it so much. But then I remember also even when I was first on it, we went somewhere and I ate some barbecue and I thought, oh, okay, it's fine. It's just meat and barbecue sauce. But you have to remember those sauces always have so much sugar in it.
Yeah.
And I got sick. And this was pretty on in the beginning, and that was because I then knew, okay, like I can't eat that barbecue sauce, so I have to be careful about the sauces that I eat because just everything has so much sugar.
Yeah.
And then you're spot on, right? It's like you totally just have to like listen to your body because
Yeah.
it's not for everyone, but it is an opportunity that's out there. So if it's something that you're interested in and you want to do a little bit more research or give it an opportunity, you may have a reaction, you may not. And if it's something that you don't respond well to, you can always
get off
stop.
of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Get
it's
off
at
of
least
it.
an option that's out there for you.
That's why I always say, like, it doesn't hurt to try it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't. I mean,
Same with buying. doesn't hurt to just
Same
talk.
with buying a house. I mean, we tried it 3 times before we actually got one. So, and we were in escrow before even, you know, with the previous realtor. So yeah, like I said, doesn't hurt to try it. That's in life, Ozempic, sparkles, clothes, everything.
It's true. Anything else?
No, I think. Thank you so much for taking the
Yes.
time to come and chat with
we're
us.
seeing
And
your stories, and I can't wait to have you come over and try on all your new
Oh
clothes.
no, Graceland has a bunch of clothes for me.
I don't know. They might be too big for you.
Oh
now.
my gosh, no. I'm like a 4 or a 6 now, and I did start at like a 14, 16.
Woohoo.
So.
Wow, that's such a
Congratulations.
huge
I know,
difference.
huge accomplishment. But
But
no,
you still look cute. You came in like a big baggy sweater, like in
with tears in my eyes.
Yeah, but you look just so cute. So yeah, it's a style right now, I guess. All right, you ready?
we are ready.
I'm
All right.
ready.
So,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
reach out if you have any questions. And again, she loves the positive comments. They're an inspiration. I totally agree with that. We got one positive comment on our YouTube channel on our second episode of our podcast. And it made me want to, and I was like, dude, I'm ready to go for episode like 200. Yeah, it doesn't
I don't
even,
care if it's one.
yeah,
I literally
exactly.
told this girl earlier,
Yeah.
If I just helped you and your husband, like I fulfilled my purpose in life. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it sounds so like cheesy, but it's like true. If I could truly help one person,
Yep.
oh my gosh, what more do I need to do in life?
I think you're a big inspiration to a lot more than just one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't make me cry.
And once the backyard's all landscaped, we're going to have to come check it out.
Oh yes.
Barbecue time, because Emilio's barbecuing on a Sunday, right? Meal prep day. We'll just come.
Yeah.
You have a
on
plethora of
accident.
Yeah, meal prep
there
day.
you
So
go.
Sundays are always barbecuing. We use no sugar added sauces.
All right, there we go.
So it's still good for you.
All right. Good, Israel?
Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys on the next one.